good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody, depending on what time you're watching this. Made a few trades today. I'm going to kind of go over the trades that I made. One of the news calls JS Trader made that was just awesome and kind of show you what we're all about here. So if you go back to the beginning of the video, you can kind of see the times that were typed in chat. I was giving everybody size today because I'm sizing up pretty light right now. I'm only trading about 1/4 the size I normally would, just because it's summertime and we're holiday week trading right now. When we get into earnings next week, I'll probably pick it up a little bit. One of the trades I made today was on this IPO, this TDOC. This was the only loser I had, less than $250 loser, but it was a loser nonetheless. I actually got long right in here, 30.40. It ripped through the highs. I was trying to hold for a breakthrough 31 to sell off. It only had 500 shares. It was actually over here where I got long. So I got long actually over here. Pulled back to 29. Here's 30. Okay, sorry. So I was long right here. I had to stop 29.99. Got long when it was holding 30. All right, up here. It actually took out this high right here of 30.85 and then pulled back. I was looking for a break through 31 to sell on a spike through 31. It pulled back, 29.99 stop, and it pulled back right here and stopped us out. So I was long 30.40, and again, it did rip up and break the high. It just happened to pull back and stop me out before breaking through 31. Now, I could have sold half up there, but again, I was only holding 500 shares, so I wasn't going to sell for 100 or 150 bucks, right? Again, I'm trading such small size that it's hard to take $100 when you're used to taking $2,000-$3,000 on your winners. All right. Then we had Fitbit. This was a call, very similar play off this $40 mark. This is that relatively new IPO. Was playing the break of this 40.45 level and actually got long below 40.45. It spiked up through 40.45 right here. It spiked to 40.90. I got long on this pullback, 40.20s, sold for a little over a point, and it ripped all the way to 41.76. So this was a nice play for us. Again, just in and out. I did see it flagging right here. This thing had a pretty insane recovery. I did see this flag right here. Advised the room, I was looking to get long, saw the market coming in, decided we'd be better off not taking it. Stock tanks, pulls back and recovers, and now it's trading right near the highs about halfway through trading. So this will be interesting to watch the close. This thing could squeeze. People are able to get these IPOs short. If you have one of those exotic brokers, or there's a couple of routes where you can get a locate for a fee. But I don't have this shortable. So if anything, I'd be watching it long again for a squeeze, because people are probably short, wondering why this thing keeps going higher. And it could be an instance like Twitter, when Twitter, if you remember that initially on the IPO was just ripping when Twitter became public because everybody was bashing it. And if you guys remember that, it kind of went down and it just ripped right here, and then it's never been anywhere close since. So Twitter, kind of the same thing. GoPro did something similar as well. GoPro popped up again, squeeze move higher. This is just shorts covering. There was hedge funds going broke on this GoPro, so the same thing could be happening with this Fit. That's why I'd be watching it for a long. Everybody thinks it's going to go down. It's probably going to go up, right? Just kind of that counterintuitive play. And again, that doesn't mean it's going to go up either. And I'm probably done touching the keys today, halfway through trading. And again, it's pretty quiet, relatively quiet. I do think things are going to get shaken up here pretty soon, though. Starting to get some volatility in the market, which is nice considering it's July. So I made a trade on Fit. Made a trade on Facebook. Facebook I was actually trying to buy. So Facebook, some news out this morning. It's worth over $100. It had room. To move above 80 to 88.34. So I knew that this thing had room. On the 1 minute chart, I was trying to buy. I wanted to buy right here. 87.21 is where I had my limit order. I was trying to buy 87.21. When I saw it breaking right here, I got a half order right here on this bar. You can pull up that time chart. It'll say 9:52, but it's 8:52. I'm on Central Time. Got long right here, 87.42 when I saw it breaking. Half order only because I wanted to buy 87.21 with a stop 87.09. was selling right up here into the highs when it started kind of flatlining right here. Small gain here, nothing crazy, but again, just taking profits, and you can see that was the right thing to do. Market rolled over, Facebook rolled over, right? Markets 70% of the stocks are gonna react to what the market does, right? So that was another trade that I had. Facebook. My biggest winner was the VIX. I've been nailing the VIX every single day this week. VIX was off the SPY. I took one stab initially, got out with a 2-cent gain on 4,000 shares, made $80. I'll put up a 5-minute chart and kind of show you the bar I was looking at whenever I was playing this VIX. So I got long the VIX. Again, looking for this market to roll over. Now, if the market is channeling, so if this is what you're looking at during the day, you're looking at this, and the S&P is up 2 points, I would not be touching the keys at all. I would sit on my hands. Nothing's going to be happening if the market's doing that. That's holiday trading, right? But we know there's a lot of headlines, and the market's up 15 points. So we know that this market's going to go one way or the other. And if you use your common sense, you figure Shanghai stock market, China's biggest stock market, drops 5% in the last hour. Things are getting a little shaky around the world, right? So you take that information and you kind of make an assumption. Now, when we got this little jolt down right here, this doesn't look like a big move, but it was about 4 points on the E-minis. This big move down, we get another red bar, I put a position on the VIX. This bar comes in, makes a new relative high. I sold my VIX for a 2-cent gain, $80, right? Which is nothing. 4,000 shares, that's nothing, right? If it goes 10 cents the wrong way, I'm down 400. But I took the money, pay for the commission, that kind of thing. See things getting hairy again right here, it starts shooting down. Boom, put on a position on the VIX right here when anticipation of this big move coming, and then we finally get the big move. So the VIX is going to do the opposite of what the market does, right? So if you pull up the VIX, I was just anticipating this rollover on the SPY. Again, based on that information, we got a big gap up. We've got a very negative SPY chart, and we went over, if you join the site, you can watch all the watch lists that we have. We went over the fact that the market was probably going to fade today, and that's exactly what happened. This is a gap. You can't see it now because we filled the gap, but this was a gap up. Looks like market's going to come down. A lot of technical damage done on the SPY chart. So my biggest trade was on the VIX. And again, I'm not trying to make 5 or 10 grand right now when it's slow. I'm just trying to keep my powder dry and kind of stay alive. Bought the VIX right here. Right here on this bar, 1917. Got a rip. Was selling right here on the pullback. I was hoping it was just going to keep running, right? But started pulling back. Sold some. Set a stop against prior high day because that's typically where you're long against, the prior high day. This was not necessarily established high, but I set a stop 1842, I believe. Got stopped out, and then the rest is history. Just kind of sitting on my hands now. So you can see it's just kind of chopping around. I really don't want to trade chop too much. JS Trader, which I did a mailer on him yesterday, put this WPCS in the room, alerted the news at 210. All right, stock just traded 310, 312. Okay, so the news alerts work, everything works, right? So there's some news out, for example, just now about some airlines being probed. So this is the kind of news that we get, all right? So this comes out, we got this 5 minutes ago. So it's already down a little bit, but at least we know why it's moving. You know, Justice Department, and sometimes we get it before the move. Sometimes we get it as it's moving, okay? So this might be something to make a trade on. Pull up the day chart, see what's happening here. And it's got a little pivot support here, so I don't know if the day chart's set up for me. I'm very, very picky on the stocks I will take, and I don't necessarily know that this is set up. But the news is Justice Department Antitrust Division probing coordination. Spokeswoman declines to name airlines under scrutiny. So, you know, it's not specifically against United, but this is again, one of the news plays that we got. This was just pretty much just out 5 minutes ago. We got it 5 minutes ago. So a little late on this one. Sometimes we get them right away. Sometimes we get them, a little late like this. But we know it's easier to trade these spikes when you know what the news is, right? So I'm sure everybody has this by now. Again, not the best example of some of these news plays or of the news plays right here. But that WPCS very, very early. CPB that we got yesterday, got that extremely early. And again, we're not going to get every one of them right on time, right? So just like we're not going to make money every single day, but when we're hot, we kill it, and that's the main thing, you know. This CPB got this right on this bar right here. Was able to sell into this. Now, if you getting them late, you don't want to chase them, so you got to know that. You got to understand how to use this information as well. So we'll give it to you when we get it. But a little pivot right here, maybe it goes and retests the lows. Who knows? But anyway, my name's Kavan. If you have any questions, you can email me, Kavan at tradewithkavan.com. Hope everybody has a good night.